Welcome to Military Spouse World 1-to-1, a weekday podcast featuring a military family shaker and mover, helping you navigate this amazing chapter in life. Here's your host, Dave Etter.
Welcome to today's edition of Spouse World 1-to-1. Today we meet Christine Stevens, a certified sleep consultant. She is going to tell us about her business. Let's jump right into the interview.
Hello, Christine. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
Outstanding. You are a shaker and a mover in the spouse world. I see that you do something with sleep, a certified sleep consultant. Tell me about that. What is that?
Really, it means that I tell you and give you a way to get the sleep that you need. So many times, we as spouses, parents, adults, we just kind of make it through the day. And we live off, how many times have I had people tell me that I just live off coffee all day long. But when I hear people tell me that, I'm so tired, I just can't get any sleep. So that's where I come in and I take a look at everything that's going on in your life and show you how that you really can get some sleep. Sometimes it's just something simple and people say, that's something little, but sometimes something little can make all the difference.
So what got you into thinking about doing this as an entrepreneur business? How did you end up with that passion?
Our daughter. I'm also a veteran, been a spouse for 13 years.
Nice.
I did logistics and operations management, so I was always the one who had to find the solution to the problem. I've done it forever. When we had our daughter, she's almost 3 now, she was not the greatest sleeper in the world. And I know babies, they don't sleep very much, and I thought that was just the way things had to be. I'm just never going to sleep again because I was a mom.
I've heard that.
A lot of parents just assume that, I'm just not going to sleep for the next 18 years. And I had accepted it too. And I had tried a lot of different things. I had read so many books. Amazing. I Googled things at 2:00 in the morning in the middle of the night. Why won't my kids sleep? Why won't this baby sleep? I got some really wild recommendations, things, everything from, just feed them more to keep her up till 11 o'clock at night. None of that worked.
Right.
And I kept searching for a better way. Finally, I got it through another friend of mine. I was on the phone with him one day at work, and I was telling him that, I'm just so tired. This baby won't sleep. She was about 8 months old, and I'm so tired. Husband's deployed again. How in the world am I going to handle all this? I don't know what to do. He said, you got to try this program. He said, okay, you got to try this sleep program. Okay, I'll stand on my head for 2 weeks if that will help. Lo and behold, I tried it. And within 3 nights, my daughter slept 10 hours on her own.
Really?
Where she had never slept more than an hour and a half in her entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was amazing. And I remember waking up that morning and I looked at the clock 3 or 4 times thinking, wow, she's still asleep. But waking up that next morning feeling like $1 million. Just, wow, this is what sleep feels like. The woman who actually created the program, it's called Sleep Sense, contacted me and said, hey, you had such a great experience with this. Would you ever consider teaching? That was it. That was my moment where I went, that's it. I decided that I never wanted anyone to have to go without sleep again. So I made sure that this is what I wanted to do, and I knew it. And I still get the same feeling every time I work with any of my clients where they tell me, I had a great night's sleep last night. And I go, yeah, I remember what that feels like.
Wow. Yeah. Mine's a medical reason. Other people, they don't have medical reasons. What other reasons are there for people not to have decent sleep?
A lot of it is different habits that they have. Maybe you work in shift work.
Right. That's tough.
That's hard. That's very, very tough. And how do you get through that? It could be something as small as, travel will throw, and time change will throw your sleep schedule off. How does that work? Parents, if you've got a baby that isn't sleeping all that great, or you go through some kind of change and your child who once was a great sleeper is keeping you up all night long. There's mountains of reasons why someone wouldn't sleep. So that we figure that out and figure out what are the reasons. We're looking at stressors in your life. We're looking at what's your nutrition look like? What's your exercise level look like?
Mine's horrible. What you do, then, you've turned it into a business.
Absolutely.
And it's portable. You can take it to any post, any station, any installation you go to. How did you do that? I mean, is it an actual business that people can get involved with, or is it something you found that you just needed to put on that entrepreneur hat and recreate it such that you have built yourself a business?
The great thing about being able to move with this job is that because I do in-home, I've actually met with my clients face-to-face, or I meet with them over Skype, or things like Google Hangout. Using the internet, I can reach people all over the world.
Oh, that's true. Technology.
It is. Technology is absolutely wonderful in this job because you don't always have to be sitting there. So I had families come to me with just even the smallest of issues. We're able to fix it. Everything's good, to the more complex problems. But there's other sleep consultants across the world. And once I found out that there were actually people that did this, because I had no idea there was someone that could tell me how to sleep. I thought, what a neat idea. I had never heard of a sleep coach before.
Sleep coach?
Yes. Yeah. Think about it as a personal trainer. The gym. You can go to the gym. So you decide to hire a personal trainer and you go to the gym and your personal trainer says, all right, here are your goals 1, 2, and 3. Here is how we're going to get to those goals. And I'm going to make sure that you get there. And they will have your workout ready. And they're pushing you to make sure that you're doing those extra reps and make sure that you're lifting the weights that you need. Think about it as a personal trainer for your sleep. You probably know some things that, well, I should be doing that, but did you actually do that? And when you're held accountable and you have someone who's holding you accountable during that process, you're more apt to make and meet those goals that you want to have.
What is the most common thing that you have encountered with working with people?
Most common would probably be usually parents and their child isn't sleeping very well for whatever reason. And I've worked with a wide range of ages. Comes to children, babies all the way up to toddlers, older kids, all the way up through adults. That's probably the number one thing that I get are parents coming to me saying, my child isn't sleeping. Tell me why. Tell me how to help my child sleep better.
Is there something you can give us that keep the kids asleep so that, people will look you up later?
Yeah, I actually have, if you go over and check out my website, my company is called Sleepy Tots Consulting. So if you go to www.sleepytots.consulting, I have a free download that is actually 7 tips for helping your child sleep through the night.
That's not .com. It's
no, it's not .com. It's .consulting.
I've heard they have those new websites out there where they're using full words instead of just 3 letters. That's cool.
Yeah. You can also find me on Facebook as well. So it'll have a link to my website from there. Some of the top tips that I have for parents so that their child, does sleep through the night. Make sure that you have a bedtime routine. This goes the same way for adults, no matter what age. Most of us don't immediately go into our rooms at night and fall face down on our pillows and go to sleep. Think about what you do every single night.
Right.
You probably change your clothes, brush your teeth, maybe wash your face, maybe lay down and read for a few minutes before you go to sleep.
Or play one of those stupid apps on Facebook.
That's what I'm saying no. Turn the phones off. Turn the phones off when you get ready to go to bed. But have that routine in the evenings. It's the same thing for us. It's the same thing for our kids. Have a routine before you go to bed because it's a cue to your brain that it's time to go to sleep.
And so what you're saying is if you can make it into a habit, much like we have taught our bodies to expect and want us to go out and exercise in the morning, go do that walking around the neighborhood, go take that couple of minutes, jump on the bike and pump out get your heart rate up so that you're ready to start the day. Just like we've trained ourselves to do that, we can train ourselves to shut down at night.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Some people need a little meditation in the evenings, and that doesn't mean that you have to sit there and chant Oms all evening.
What about the kids? I mean, I know that there are a lot of parents out there that no matter how much you try to help them and teach them, etc., they're still going to be hyper vigilant. It's your kids that are in the other room. Children, they rely on us to take care of them. Young parents or parents with really young kids buy those sleep monitors and they have them on right next to the bed, so they want to get up in a hurry. Is there a way in which we can get the kids to go to sleep?
It starts with having a bedtime routine. It also starts with putting them to bed early because kids need a lot of sleep. So you want to be able to give them an opportunity to get the sleep that they need. The other thing is that children need to be able to fall asleep without a prop. What's a prop?
Yeah, I immediately thought of a teddy bear.
I know, or I'm thinking of a prop of an airplane. Now, a prop is something external that has to be done to your child to make them sleep.
Like turning on a night light?
No, i.e., my child will only sleep if I rock them to sleep at night.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, this is the big one. This is usually the big one when it comes to kids, is being able to fall asleep without something that the parent or the caregiver has to do to them to fall asleep. And a prop can be anything from rocking. It can be just handing them a bottle to fall asleep. It can be pacifiers. It can be, no kidding, bouncing up and down on a yoga ball. And I've seen it.
Really?
I've seen it. But think about it. When you're doing that 2 o'clock in the morning, why is my kid awake again? It's the stress when you are so sleep deprived. Your stress level gets really high and your patience gets really small. Letting your child fall asleep. No.
Wow. That's like, boom, my head just went kapow. And all of my kids are grown now. I mean, my youngest is a junior in high school, but he's real easy to get him to go to sleep. I just unplug the internet. He goes to bed.
Yeah.
Of course, that doesn't mean he doesn't wait till I go to bed and then he goes and turns the internet back on. But, he makes it to school on time. So I'm not overly concerned about that. I'm past that. But that doesn't mean my friends aren't. And that doesn't mean that most of our listeners here are probably still having to deal with younger children. So you put into your bio something about there are some gadgets that parents can use. What were you talking about there?
So I have a lot of parents that ask me, what are some great things that I should have to help my child sleep better? So yes, I have my top 4 sleep gadgets that are good for parents.
Is a baseball bat amongst them?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
The first one, blackout curtains.
Right. Wait, hey, it works for shift work. Why not?
If you work shift work, you need to have that. Regardless, whether you're a parent or not, have blackout curtains because cue to our brains, it's dark, it's time to sleep. What do we do in the evenings during the summer when the sun's out till 9 o'clock at night? We start to shut the blinds early. That it starts to make the house a little darker. It's a cue to our brains that it's time to start winding down and get ready for sleep. If you don't have blackout curtains, I've seen people do everything from blackout curtains to drape a blanket over the window, tack it up on the wall. So
or a
whatever
blanket
you
over the kid.
I wouldn't suggest.
Well, no, actually, why not? I mean, you got this nice crib. Why not just go ahead and throw a blanket over the crib? You do it for
that's a safety issue. No, don't do that.
You do it for the parrots. Why not?
No, just cover up the windows. Do whatever you can to cover up the light, and keep the light from coming in the windows.
So does that mean you're not really a big fan of having night lights and glittery things that shine up on the ceiling like stars and stuff like that?
Bedtime is supposed to be about winding down and relaxing. Things that are a little too stimulating, like things that light up on the ceiling and things like that. No, not a big fan of those. So
try to eliminate stimulation. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's another?
Sound machine is one of them. And I mean straight white noise. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. A fan. We're talking about fans here. A lot of people say, I sleep well when I have a fan on. If you've got to drown out the noise, and I'll use my own example, because I live on base as well, when Reveille plays at 6 o'clock in the morning, wakes my daughter up, wakes my entire house up. And when it sounds like the speaker's in your front yard,
yeah.
I put a white noise machine, and it's just a fan noise. Works like a charm.
I'll be darned. High blood pressure does that too without having to have a fan.
Sure, are apps out there that you can download for free.
Yes.
Whether a simple fan or just noise machines that make the fan sound are great.
We've got blackout curtains. We've got a white noise generator of some sort. What else?
Something like a sleep sack for kids. Okay. So you see a lot of parents will hear, what is that? It's more or less, the term is a wearable blanket.
Right. Boy Scouts, we call them sleeping bags.
Yeah, sleeping bags. Same idea. We like to have the blankets rolled up around us and up around our chin at night. That's great.
Yes.
For kids, it's just like us. We like to have the blankets over us when we sleep. It's just a little bit of weight on us. Okay. So for a sleep sack, it's something tight against them, and they feel that against them. And it's
right.
It's us having a blanket on us.
Pretty much the same stuff that we were talking about when we were talking to Kit Jenkins on just a couple podcasts ago about the wearable stuff carry-on project. Yeah. Same concept. This time it's for sleep.
Exactly.
So, we got blackout curtains, we got white noise machine, wearable, get you all snuggled in. What else? What's the last one?
And the last one, and this seems kind of simple, is for a child, is a crib or a bassinet, something where their own sleep space is.
Something that's got sides to it? Is that what you're suggesting? Instead of a bed, a bassinet or a crib, is it so that it's definable that it's nobody else's space but theirs?
It's their space, yes. It's their place to sleep. So we talk a lot about, with kids, they talk about things like SIDS prevention and having a safe sleep space for children. They have their own space. And a crib, bassinet, a portable crib like a pack and play, that gives them their own space. Even the youngest babies are able to sleep independently. Like you don't have to hold your child all night long for them to sleep. But they know that space, and they know that area that when I go to this place, it's time to go to sleep. It all comes back to having the routine and things when they're getting ready to go down for a nap or bedtime.
It gives them the ability also to develop as an individual instead of as a symbiotic.
Well, they are. They can be as close as you want them to be. Mm-hmm. And it's always recommended that very young babies sleep nearest to their parents. But as a safety issue.
But not necessarily in the same bed, because then it's not individuals' sleep space. It's a shared sleep space.
Right. You can have your children as close as you want them. They can be an arm's length away.
Right.
But I know that your child is safe. They're sleeping well, and you can reach over with one arm and touch them rather than being worried about them. Well, are they rolling around the bed? Are they getting wrapped up in the blankets?
Or in my case, I'm rolling over on top of them. I've
met a lot of families that dad's been reduced to sleeping on the couch because mom is sleeping with the baby in bed. Yeah. It changes dynamics. You get into when you start talking about, well, now mom and dad aren't sleeping together, your spouse and you aren't sleeping together anymore. And what kind of strain is that putting on your marriage? How does that all work?
And all due to sleep. Wow.
Parents that decide to have their child sleep in bed with them or however close needs to be a family discussion. Everybody needs to be on board because it causes a lot of extra stress. And if one parent is not happy with having the child sleep in bed with them, then it needs to be a discussion between both parents.
Right. How do we get a hold of you again?
So the first thing is they can head over to my website, www.sleepytots.consulting, and they can send me an email if they've got questions, or they can actually sign up for a 15-minute phone call with me. It's free of charge, doesn't cost you a dime, and we can do it over Skype with a phone. Just ask me questions if they're not sure what to do with regards to sleep. I offer that to everybody. I know PCS season is coming up.
Oh, yes.
So, I've been through enough now. The added bonus I have for anybody who's listening to your podcast today, I'm putting up a brand new tip sheet for them to read. It's tips for sleeping well. So families to sleep well when you're living out of a suitcase.
Oh, nice. Nice. Thank you, Christine. Appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you so much for having me, Dave.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Military Spouse World 1-to-1 is a BDE Productions podcast. The views and opinions of the host or any of the guests are not that of BDE Productions or sponsors. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to Spouse World 1-to-1.